Hello everyone, my name is Priyanka. Welcome to my maths classes. I'm teaching full syllabus of class 8th maths. So I have discussed the introduction and the properties of rational numbers. You can watch those videos also. I have given the link in the description box. Today I am discussing the identities and inverses of the rational numbers. So first we start with the identities of the rational numbers. So what are the identities of rational numbers? First is the additive identity. So what is additive identity? So as we know, what is rational number? Any number which can be represented in form of P upon Q is a rational number, where P and Q can be any integers, any positive integer or any negative integer. So now this additive identity says that if we add, so let us suppose we have any rational number A. If we add 0 to the rational number, so it remains same. So we can write it in any way. That means A plus 0 or 0 plus A would always remain equal to A. That means number remains same. So 0 is the additive identity for the rational numbers. That means for whatever the value of the rational number A, if we add 0 to it, it never changes. So if we take A is equal to 3 by 4 and we add 0 to it, the number remains 3 by 4 only. And if the number is minus 3 by 4 and if we add 0 to it, it remains minus 3 by 4 only. So positive number remains positive, negative number remains negative. Number remains same. So this is the additive identity of the rational numbers. Second is the multiplicative identity. So multiplicative identity is there is some number, so with which if we multiply any rational number, the number remains same. So what can be that number? There is one number, if we multiply any rational number A with that number, the number would remain same. So that number is, yes, that number is 1. That number is 1. If we multiply any rational number with 1, the number would remain same. So we can write it in either way, A multiplied by 1 or 1 multiplied by A. It would remain equal to A. That means number would not change. This is the multiplicative identity. So 1 is the multiplicative identity for the rational numbers. So if number is whether negative or positive, if we multiply it with 1, the number would remain same. Alright, these are the two identities of rational numbers. These are important. So 0 is additive identity of the rational numbers and 1 is the multiplicative identity of the rational numbers. So the second topic is inverses of rational numbers. So inverses of rational number, first is additive inverse or negative of a number. So let's first discuss what is additive inverse or negative of a number. As we have already studied the integers, we know that integers are negative as well as positive. So for example, if you take 3, 3 is an integer. What is negative of 3? Negative of number 3 is minus 3, right? So 3 is a number, is an integer. So negative of 3 is minus 3. So if you add them together, 3 plus minus 3, what do we get? If you add them, add a number and negative of a number, what do we get? Obviously we get 0. Right? So this is the negative of a number. So on adding, negative of a number is, so if we add negative of a same number to number itself, we get a 0. So same thing is applied on the rational numbers as well. If we have a rational number A, supposingly 2 by 3. So any rational number, since 3 is also a rational number, we know that 3 can be represented as 3 upon 1. So this is also a rational number. So if you take rational number 2 by 3, right? And you take the negative of number. What would be the negative of number A? Is minus 2 by 3. And then if we add them together, what do we get? 2 by 3 plus minus 2 by 3. what do we get? We get a 0, right? So this is additive inverse of a number. That means a number, if we add that particular number to number itself, we get a 0. So that number is known as additive inverse of a number. So for any rational number a, its additive inverse is minus a. So, and for any rational number a, its additive inverse is minus a. So if we have negative number, for example, if the value of a is minus 4 by 7. So if the value of a is minus 4 by 7, what would be its additive inverse? What is the value that should be added in this particular term to get 0? Obviously, what would we add? We would add 4 by 7 to this term, and then we would get 0 as a result. So if the number is negative, already negative, minus 4 by 7, then its additive inverse would be positive. So if the number is minus 4 by 7, its additive inverse is 4 by 7. So for a, if a is positive, its additive inverse is minus a. If the number is negative, number is minus a, then its additive inverse is a. Right? So this is important, that additive inverse of positive number is always negative and additive inverse of negative number is always positive. So let's take one example of additive inverse. So there is question, write additive inverse of minus 7 by 19. So what would be the additive inverse of minus 7 by 19? So additive inverse is simply the negative of the number. So when we add that particular number to this number, the result is 0, right? So additive inverse of minus 7 by 19 is 7 by 19. So additive inverse of minus 7 by 19 is 7 by 19 simply, right? And second question is additive inverse of 21 by 112. What would be the additive inverse of this number? Simply negative of number is minus 21 by 112. So if number is negative, additive inverse is positive, and if number is positive, additive inverse is negative. So the second example, this is important question. So this is always asked in previous year question papers. So verify that minus of minus x is same as x for the value x is equal to 13 by 17. So we have to prove that minus of minus x is equal to x only for the value x is equal to 13 by 17. So how we are going to prove that? Firstly, we have to take the additive inverse of x. Additive inverse of x is minus x. So additive inverse of x is minus x, which would be equal to the value of x is 13 by 17. So value of minus x is minus 13 by 17. So this is the value of minus x. So additive inverse of x would be minus x. Now they have taken the additive inverse of minus x again. So first we have taken the additive inverse of x. So if we again take the additive inverse of minus x, additive inverse of minus x becomes minus of minus x. That means minus of minus 13 by 17. So this minus minus becomes plus. So this becomes 13 by 17, which is equal to x, which is number itself. So minus of number is always equal to number itself. So if we take the additive inverse 2 times of a number, then we get the same number, right? So this is the additive inverse for the rational numbers. So the next is multiplicative inverse of a rational number. So multiplicative inverse is reciprocal of number. Do we know what is the reciprocal of number? So let us suppose we have any number 11 by 15. Any number. What is the reciprocal of this particular number? So reciprocal means, so there are 2 terms, numerator and denominator in this particular number. So reciprocal means numerator becomes denominator and denominator becomes numerator. So reciprocal of number is 15 upon 21. So we reverse the number, we reverse the numerator and denominator. So numerator becomes denominator and denominator becomes numerator. This is the reciprocal of any particular number. So reciprocal of simple number, that means 3. So if we have any number 3, what would be its reciprocal? As 3 can be written as 3 over 1. So its reciprocal would be equal to 1 by 3. So this is the reciprocal of a number. Now what is multiplicative inverse? So multiplicative inverse says that to multiply the given number with that number, so that we get the product is equal to 1. If we have given any number 3 by 7, so what should we multiply to this number? With which number we should multiply this number so that we get product equal to 1? So the number would be reciprocal of the number. So if we multiply this number 3 by 7 with 7 by 3, obviously this 7 gets cancelled with 7 and 3 gets cancelled with 3. So we get product as 1. So this is the multiplicative inverse of a number. Right? So if we have any positive number, for example 15 by 22, so its reciprocal is, its multiplicative inverse is 22 by 15. So multiplicative inverse of any positive number is always positive. So we have to multiply 15 upon 22 by 22 by 15 so that we can get the product as 1. So this is the multiplicative inverse of A. And if we have negative number, supposingly we have any value minus 3 by 7, so its multiplicative inverse would be, so with which value we should multiply this minus 3 by 7 to get product equal to 1? We should multiply it with 7 by minus 3. So this minus 3 gets cancelled with minus 3 and 7 with 7 and we get 1. So multiplicative inverse of negative number is always negative. Right? So there is one rational number 0. Yes, we all know that 0 is a rational number because 0 can be represented as 0 over 1. But what would be the multiplicative inverse of 0? What would be the multiplicative inverse of 0? So if we have to write the multiplicative inverse, we have to shuffle the numerator and denominator. We have to take the reverse. So we have to write 1 by 0. But 1 by 0 is undefined. Right? It is not defined. That's why there is one rational number which has no multiplicative inverse and that number is 0. So this was the topic identities and inverses of the rational numbers. In next time we will be solving the exercise questions which would be based on identities, inverses and the properties of the rational numbers. I have already discussed the property of the rational numbers. Link is given in the description box. You can watch that video as well. If you want to learn with me, subscribe my channel and watch all the videos. So see you in the next class.